Story 1. I believe my fascination with gore films stemmed from a traumatic event in my childhood. When I was 10 years old, I witnessed my beloved pet cat being run over, and the image of that tragic incident haunted me. It left an indelible mark on my psyche, and I found myself unable to shake off the gruesome imagery. In a desperate attempt to cope with the overwhelming emotions and thoughts that consumed me, I turned to the world of gore films. For some twisted psychological reason, I found solace in immersing myself in the fictionalized violence and bloodshed depicted in these films. It was a way for me to confront the darkness within me, to confront the reality of mortality and suffering, albeit in a controlled and fictionalized manner. In a strange paradox, the exaggerated violence and gore in these movies provided me with a sense of catharsis, a way to process my own trauma vicariously through the characters on screen. While I found myself drawn to the visceral thrills of these films, I also recognized that there was a deeper, more complex appeal to them. They offered a glimpse into the darker aspects of human nature, exploring themes of fear, survival, and the fragility of life. Through the lens of horror and gore, I began to contemplate existential questions about the nature of violence, death, and the human condition. As I grew older and gained more perspective, I came to realize that perhaps some of these movies weren't purely fictional after all. While the scenarios may have been exaggerated for dramatic effect, they often reflected deeper truths about the human experience. Whether it was the primal fear of being hunted by a relentless killer or the gruesome consequences of our own hubris, these films tapped into universal fears and anxieties that resonated with audiences on a profound level. In hindsight, I see that my fascination with gore films was not just about seeking out thrills or indulging in gratuitous violence. It was a journey of self-discovery, a way for me to confront my own fears and anxieties in a safe and controlled environment. And while the images of blood and gore may have initially served as a form of escapism, they ultimately led me to a deeper understanding of myself and the world around me. Story 2. As a child, I experienced a terrifying encounter that taught me the importance of stranger danger and home security. It was a typical day when an unknown man knocked on our door, claiming his car had broken down and he needed to use the phone. Despite feeling uneasy about letting a stranger into our home, I hesitantly allowed him to use our phone out of politeness and a sense of obligation to help. However, as he lingered in our hallway and began to venture into other rooms, my unease quickly turned into fear. I realized that his intentions might not have been as innocent as he initially claimed. Panic surged through me as I grappled with the realization that I had put myself and my family in a potentially dangerous situation by letting a stranger into our home. Thankfully, my parents arrived home just in time, sensing something amiss. Their presence startled the intruder, who quickly made his exit before any harm could be done. In the aftermath of the incident, my family and I had a sobering conversation about the importance of being cautious around strangers and the necessity of implementing effective home security measures to protect ourselves from potential threats. This frightening ordeal served as a valuable lesson for me, instilling in me a heightened awareness of the dangers that exist in the world and the importance of trusting my instincts when it comes to assessing potentially risky situations. It also underscored the significance of maintaining a secure and fortified home environment to safeguard against intruders and unexpected threats. Though it was a harrowing experience, it ultimately empowered me with the knowledge and awareness needed to prioritize safety and security in my daily life. Story 3. I had been a familiar face at my local Starbucks for years, so when I entered on that overcast morning, I anticipated the usual lively atmosphere. However, upon stepping inside, I immediately sensed a palpable tension in the air. The typical chatter and activity had been replaced by an unsettling silence, sending a shiver down my spine. Instinctively, I turned to leave, eager to escape whatever had disrupted the familiar rhythm of the cafe. But before I could make my exit, a firm hand gripped my shoulder, causing me to startle in surprise. My heart raced as I turned to face the source of the touch, only to find myself locking eyes with one of the men seated at a nearby table. Frozen in fear, I stood rooted to the spot as he gestured for me to join him, pulling out a chair in a silent invitation. Every fiber of my being screamed at me to flee, but I found myself unable to move, held in place by a combination of shock and trepidation. As I hesitated, the man's expression remained inscrutable, his intentions unclear. With a sense of mounting unease, I warily approached the table, my mind racing with a myriad of possibilities. What did he want from me? Was I in danger? My thoughts swirled with apprehension as I reluctantly took a seat, bracing myself for whatever was to come. As the stories come to a close, we're reminded of the complexities of life and the challenges we face. Thank you for joining us on this journey through these tales. If you enjoyed the stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more engaging content. Your support means a lot to us. Until next time, take care and keep exploring the mysteries of the human experience. Thank you for watching.